Welcome everyone to our Alfasoft online demo day, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Torgrim Sandvold, and I'm the product manager for statistics and data analyst tools here at our Norwegian office. In the next webinar, we will be presenting BlueSky Statistics, Unlock the Power of R, with our presenter Aaron Ranger. But before we start, just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in the GoToWebinar panel on your right. We will try to answer them during the presentation, and we will hopefully have some time for questions at the end. You will all be muted during the presentation to avoid any audio problems, and please note that we will be recording this webinar. And both the recording and the questions from this session will be answered and made available to you afterwards. We will send you all an email with links to the recordings, the question and answers, and any related resources as soon as we have them edited and published, hopefully by mid next week. With that, I will hand over the screen to you, Aaron.
Thank you very much, Torgrim.
I can both hear you and see your screen clearly, so everything is working. I guess it's morning over at your place in the US?
Yes, it is 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah. A good day to start the day with a BlueSky Statistics presentation. I'm quite excited. I know that you have just released version 10, so I'm quite excited to see the new features in this new version.
Thank you very much, Torgrim. And yes, we are seeing a huge spike in interest with the new release. Shall I go ahead and get started?
Yeah, please. Good luck with your presentation, Aaron.
Thank you very much. To BlueSky Statistics. We are a team of about 8 people now. We're headquartered in Chicago, but we have team members all across the world, including Belfast in Ireland, Ukraine, India as well. The agenda for today is to give you a quick overview of the BlueSky Statistics product, to talk about the business value. The main part of the presentation is obviously the demo, where I'll walk you through the product. I'll then quickly talk about the additions that we have for BlueSky Statistics and end with the roadmap, as well as talk about how you can get started on the BlueSky Statistics journey. So a quick mission statement. Our goal is to build the most popular, widely used statistics and data science application, an application that analysts prefer. And it's important for us to make it easy to use for beginners transitioning from other solutions, beginners who are new to statistics and machine learning and data science, as well as for advanced users. And as I said before, we want to be the most widely adopted. We want to be able to support multiple disciplines, and we're built on the open source R project. So what are we? We're a statistics and data science application built on the open source R project. Our goal is to unlock the power of R for the analyst community. That is what we do today, using a rich GUI or graphical user interface and output, as well as an R code editor, which is increasingly sophisticated for an R coder or an advanced analyst. Today, we unlock the power of R. We want to also invest in unlocking the power of Python. We get a ton of requests, and we've started work on that as well. Now, our goal is to deliver a much more advanced GUI than the mainstream applications offer. So we want to build a graphical user interface that's better than SPSS, better than SAS and the other commercial products out there. We want to make it really easy to learn R and transition to R if you're using another solution. We're fully extensible, and we have open source and commercial editions available. So we are a global organization. Today we have hundreds, thousands of organizations that use BlueSky Statistics. We've got usage across 90 countries, and we're most widely used in universities and in healthcare in particular. A couple of organizations to give you a flavor that use BlueSky Statistics today. A nice mix of commercial as well as universities. Obviously, we're much more represented in universities. A couple of quotes from customers who use us. I bring up this quote more because this is a university that wanted support for the M1 chipset, and we delivered that earlier this year. Another quote from Luca from the European Institute of Oncology. And here's a case study. This is by far our largest customer, which is a large healthcare provider in Minnesota, USA. They replaced 2,000 jump licenses with BlueSky Statistics, and they also extended BlueSky Statistics to meet their own custom needs. They've been running BlueSky Statistics for over 2 years now and have cost savings that range in the millions. Okay. Several other commercial organizations that use us. Now, in terms of business value, why do people move to BlueSky Statistics? We're clearly seeing a large industry trend to move away from proprietary statistics software. And the fact is, proprietary statistics software cannot match the depth, the breadth of what's available in the open source R and Python, both from an innovation perspective as well as a cost-saving perspective. So we clearly make the transition to open source easy. BlueSky Statistics, as you'll soon see, makes it very easy to learn R. You have the efficiency of a GUI that matches and exceeds what's available in commercial proprietary statistical and machine learning applications. And we also deliver an advanced feature set and extensibility to meet your unique needs. Clearly, R, Python are used heavily in academia. There are millions of students who are trained in R, Python for machine learning, and we want to make those statisticians, those machine learners, those data science practitioners more efficient. Okay, with that, I'm going to go into the demo. So when you first launch BlueSky Statistics, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see an open data set. You're going to see an output window. We do keep the R code editor window hidden because there are some people that don't want to write R code out of the box. So I'll minimize that for a moment, but that's really important. Now, in terms of opening data sets, there is a wide variety of data sets that we open. We include, obviously, R data formats, SPSS, SAS, Stata. Minitab, we require you to export to CSV, and then we'll open up the CSV. But there's just a wide variety of formats that we will open up. I will go ahead and open up a couple of data sets here really quickly to show you how this all looks. So I'm going to select analysis, and I'm going to select open. And you see the data set opens in the grid here, and you have a data and a variable view as well, which is fully interactive. I'll show you more in a moment. I'm going to open up a couple of data sets here because I want to run some analysis. These are all our data sets. We'll open up some data sets with different formats. So that's the Titanic data set. Open up Titanic prepped. Now, when you open up data sets, you're in our samples data set folder. We give you a wide variety of sample data sets. There are IBM SPSS sample files. If you want, I'll open up one of those. We'll open up some CSV files as well. And when you open up a CSV file, you can specify the delimiter, and you can specify the decimal digit as well. that's more for multinational support. So what I'm going to do now is go and load a data set from a package. Now, R has tons of packages, and those packages have a lot of data sets. So you can go ahead and pick a package and open up a data set very easily. I'm going to do that right now. What you can also do is you can browse data sets across all packages. So in this case, you know the name of the data set, you just type in the name of the data set, it shows up here, and you can open up that data set. Now, I talked about the grid. The grid is fully interactable, so you can right-click and say, I want to make this a factor. You can bring up another dialog here. Just say you're working with 300 or 400 variables, and you can convert variables in mass to factor if you want, and to string or whatever type you want to, or convert character to numeric. All of this is available in the data grid. So you saw I converted those to factor. I can add a level to a factor as well very easily. I can add multiple levels here by separating it, or I can just right click and I can say add a single factor level. Okay, so if I want to add a new factor level, I can add that new level. And you will see that it's reflected here. And the data grid as well is fully interactable. So you can go ahead and edit values. So now let me go ahead and do some simple analysis. You can see on the top, there's a wide variety of data manipulation, analysis capabilities available out of the box, graphics, visualization, model fitting, model tuning, model evaluation, scoring, and so on. But let's start simple here. I'm going to go ahead and run a one sample t-test. Here, I want to compare the displacement and the horsepower and see if it's significantly different from, let's say, 10. I go ahead and run the analysis. Now we're automatically generating our code for you. You will see the output here in the window. This output is nicely formatted for you. More importantly, you can go in and recall the dialog. So now if you wanted to run it, let's say with effect sizes, you can go ahead and do that and rerun that analysis, and you will get the output with the effect sizes here. You can go in and split the data set very quickly. So if you want to go in and say that I want to split this data set by automatic cars and manual cars, you select the variable and it's split. And what's really neat is that you can go and rerun the analysis by recalling the dialog for each split. So now the analysis will be rerun, and it'll run for all automatic cars. So you get the sample statistics or the descriptives for automatic cars, you get the one sample t-test, you get the effect sizes for all your automatic cars, and then we repeat the analysis for every split. So now for the manual cars, you get the descriptives, the one sample t-test. And with every table, we're telling you which split it operates on the bottom. It's all in a couple of clicks. You can get and do this analysis. You can also not only recall the dialog, but you can see the R syntax that was generated. And you can go and change the syntax if you want. If you want to change the confidence interval to 90, you can certainly do that and rerun the analysis all in with the click of a mouse. Now, what I want to go ahead and do is, if I go ahead and run some descriptives, if I want to go ahead and run some numerical summaries, it's going to obey those split. So once the data set is split, all the analysis you do is automatically run for each split for you. And you see that the data set is split on the bottom of your screen. On the bottom of the screen, you can also select the zoom factor if you want to go higher or you want to go lower. All of that is available to you at your fingertips. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the split real quickly here. Okay, let me go ahead and run some graphics. So the first thing I'm going to show you again is we run a simple scatter plot. We'll plot miles per gallon versus horsepower. And here you see the result. Now I'm going to go and make this a little more sophisticated. I will say color this by automatic and manual vehicles, and I'll rerun the analysis. And there you see. Now I can go and do sophisticated things. Let's say I want a bin hex plot. I can go ahead, I can choose the number of bins, and I can rerun the analysis. If I want to facet it, I can do that as well. And that's available on all these options here. Okay, so you have a ton of options to be able to run sophisticated plots. If I want to facet it, let's say by gear, I can do that as well. And more importantly, as I talked about, if you want to see the R code, you can go ahead and see the R code. If you want to modify it, you can just select it. You can right-click it. And this is what more advanced people will want to do. You can copy it here and rerun the analysis with, let's say, changing a Y label. Let's say I want to call it horsepower new as an example. Not only that, the editor is pretty sophisticated. So when you click here, you can run one line at a time by just clicking the run button. So it goes to the next line. It understands that this is a comment, okay, and it automatically executed this entire line. Although you copied complex R code that spanned multiple lines, we understand this and we ran the entire line automatically for you. By just putting your mouse here, we were able to figure out that this R command spanned multiple lines, and we ran it for you and we showed you the output. So there's a lot of sophistication here where you can come in and write R code or paste R code here that you've got from, let's say, the internet, and run it very, very efficiently, or run it line by line as well. So now I want to transition into, let's say, some model fitting examples. Let's start simple again by building a linear regression model. We'll go ahead and build a full model to predict, let's say, the miles per gallon of a car. I will plot the residuals as well. And there you see I get a prompt saying I've not selected any destination or independent variables. I'll go ahead and select the independent variables and I'll run the model. And here it builds a linear regression model. What's really nice is we tell you what packages we're using. We also show you the model formula. All of this is R code running underneath, and we can show you the R code here that you can browse if you do wanna. And here I get my residuals, my coefficients. All of this is fairly straightforward. Now what I want to do is I want to go and build a smaller model. Okay, so let's say that I want to go ahead and remove some of the independent variables, and I'll call it linear regression model number 2. Okay, now what I want to do next is go and compare both of these models. So I can go under model tuning here or model evaluation, and I have a whole lot of options here. I can plot the model. You know, I built 2 models. I can do that. I can go ahead and compare both these models. I can compare the full model with the parsimonious model. And you have the ability to compare n models as well. And here you get the results of running ANOVA, the full against the reduce. I get the likelihood ratio test at my fingertips. I can get the confidence interval. I can get the wall statistic for the models I've built. And we really support a wide variety of models here. You can, I want to switch back and just show you the cross tabulation capability as well. You can really do complex cross tabs here. So if I want to build a cross tab of store satisfaction, and there should be overall, and I want to, in the layers, I want regular or multiple factor variables, contact and gender. Now, all these tables, you're going to see a pretty sophisticated table that's going to come up here. You can take all of this and copy it into Excel as well. So all of that can be very easily done with BlueSky Statistics. So we're completely compatible with Excel. Now, if you want additional statistics, like you want the chi-square, the McNamara test, all of this is available as well. All right, so going back to model building or model fitting, we support a wide variety of models out of the box here. There's sophisticated options available with these models, but you can also go ahead and build a tune model right up front. Okay, so when I talk about model tuning, what we do is we allow you to, I'm switching to the Titanic Prep dataset, is we allow you to choose between a wide variety of model types. So let's say you want to build a add a boost classification model, or you want to build a bagged logistic model, or you want Bayesian ridge regression or boosted trees. All of these are available for you to build. And what's more important here is we're building a tuned model with the parameters automatically tuned for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick survived here. And I want to pick some independent variables. Now, some of the models require that your factor variables be dummy coded. So I've dummy coded my factor variables here, which again can be very easily done with the product. And what we're going to do now is, I'm going to call it tune 1, and I will put 2 here. And let's say I'm going to go to boosted trees here, and I want to build a gradient boosted model. But what's important here is I'm not picking the tuning parameters. I'm just saying I want to build a gradient boosted model. R is going to build a tuned model for me automatically and test that model for me across multiple parameters and give me the tuned model. So let me go ahead and click next. Okay, so R is going to be testing multiple parameters here. And you can see the iterations as it's tuning the different parameters to create the optimized model for me. Okay, and once it builds the optimized model on this training data set, it's showing me the confusion matrix. It's going to give me the accuracy statistics, the kappa statistics, the sensitivity. All of this is available. And then it also shows me the Turing data. So what were the parameters that it was resampling across, the number of trees, as well as the accuracy and kappa. It then chooses the final model with the parameters that it prints out right now. Now, what's really, really neat is once I have this tune model, I can go under model evaluation and I can make predictions. Okay, so I can score this data set. I'm not going to open up another data set just to save time, but I can score this data set. And clearly, it's found the tune model I've built. It tells me that the predictor variables that the model requires are available in the data set. It tells me the model class. I just give it a prefix and I'll call it PP. I can save the confidence interval. I can generate a confusion matrix and store an ROC table. Now, this is only when the dependent variable is available in the data set that we can generate a confusion matrix. Else we'll tell you that you don't have the dependent variable. We'll simply score the data set for you. I can go ahead and run that scoring. Okay, and there you see that if I go to my data set and I move to the right, you'll see all these predicted predictions saved to the data set, and I've also saved the predicted probabilities to the data set as well. So there's a lot of R code behind the scenes here that runs to make it happen, and we've done a lot of work to simplify the experience for a person who wants to not only build models across a wide set of algorithms, as well as make predictions, as well as gauge the accuracy of these models. So now the prediction capability is pretty simple. So if I go into model scoring and just say I pick a linear regression model, now it's telling me that there's an error, and it's telling me an error because the data set that I want to score now does not have the variables that I need to score. Okay, so clearly the Titanic prepped data set, I built a gradient boosted model. I don't have a linear model built for this, but if I shift to car analysis, or I shift to empty cars, I believe, and I go to predict, then when I pick the linear model, you see the success here. So it's basically telling me that this model can be used to score the data set because the dependent variables are available in that data set. So we built a lot of smarts and hardness to the software to be able to give you the right messages so you can take the right action. So there's a lot more here to show you really quickly. But I want to show you the ability now you have to go ahead and save this output. So just say you worked on all this statistics and you've got some good results and you want to share this information with a colleague, you can go ahead and export the output. And let me call this, let me go to my documents because I don't have the ability to save to that directory, but I can call it okay, I can export this information and I can email it out to a colleague and ask them to look at the results. I can, because this output is so rich, they can go in and they can, once they open the data set, let me go ahead and open a saved data set so you see what it's like. So if I go into my documents, I believe I have a data set here that I've saved. It's in my downloads directory. Here's my saved results. Now, if I open the results up, you will see that it opens up in a separate window. So these are the saved results, and I have the ability to go in and inspect the analysis that was done. So for any of the dialogues here, I do have a lot of data in the output here, but I can inspect what the other analysts did. I can look at the parameters. I can rerun the analysis with different parameters. The output is completely interactive. Okay, so when you save your results and you give it to someone else, the person can go in and not only view your output, but they can also bring up the dialogues that were run during the analysis. Okay, and that's what we call reproducibility. This is an area that we've invested heavily in. So when you've done your analysis and you've given your analysis to a colleague, they open that file, they can not only see the output of the analysis, but they can rerun the analysis with different parameters as well. So I bet some of you are thinking that the data sets that I've opened are really small. Let me go ahead and open up a data set with 1 million rows here. Again, it will take a couple of seconds, but very soon you will see the data set open where you will have 1 million rows here. So we can really handle, and 1 million is not large. If you were willing to wait for 30 seconds, I could open up a 2 gig or 3 gigabyte data set. And all of this displays very, very quickly. I'm just taking you to the end of the data set here, but you can see the scrolling of the data works very well. I'm just going to widen it because we do have a lot of rows here. And performance is very, very good with large data sets as well. So with that, I've given you a quick overview of the capabilities. We give you a rich set of capabilities out of the box, data set manipulations, merge data sets, subset data sets, in terms of variables, just lots of data preparation, managing factor levels, reordering factor levels, lumping a set of factor levels to another, handling missing values, multiple methods, a wide set of statistical capabilities. You can analyze distributions, a wide set of model fitting capabilities, model tuning, model evaluation, and so on. I've also talked about opening data sets of different types, copying and pasting your results into Excel or Word that's available, as well as predicting and scoring data sets. I want to go back into the roadmap and talk a little bit about the additions of BlueSky Statistics. So bear with me while I share my screen. Okay, so can you confirm that my screen is showing up correctly?
Yes, but you are actually showing the presenter screen. So I don't know if you want to go full screen.
Okay, let me see if I can switch my screen. Is that better?
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so we definitely have an open source edition, which is fully functional, that everyone across the world makes very, very good use of. As I said, that's exactly what you saw with all the rich capabilities available. We also have a commercial version where you have dedicated technical support, where you can make prioritized feature requests, where you can run it on a server, and you get some enterprise features like large organizations want across package management, automatic upgrades, custom marketplace, and development training. Now, when I talk about a custom marketplace, people can extend BlueSky Statistics. They make contributions, and these contributions are available to you, and people can make paid contributions as well. So when I look at further investments for the rest of the year, we're going to continue to invest in extensibility, making it very easy for you. You know, there are hundreds or thousands of packages available in R and Python, and if you want to build your extension really, really quickly and deploy it, that's what we're making even easier. You can definitely do that today, and several large organizations have done it. We want to continue to invest in design of experiments. Within the next 2 months, we will be releasing very powerful design of experiments capabilities targeted more to quality control, manufacturing, and Six Sigma. We want to go ahead and continue to enhance reproducibility. We have a structured equation modeling and Bayesian statistics coming up. That will be available later during this year. There are other improvements that are highly requested that we will be delivering in short order, and that's to enhance our repeated measures ANOVA. So support for multiple within and between subject factors, as well as simple effect comparison for factorial models. And we want to enhance our existing mixed models, add support for logistic case for binomial data. That comes up a lot. So in terms of resources and getting started, definitely download the open source edition. It's fully functional. It'll definitely work on Windows and Mac. We've got a videos gallery on our website with several videos that will help you get started. We've got a user guide in English as well as a user guide in German. So with that, I have come to the end of my presentation, and I'd be more than happy to take any questions and answers.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Aaron. And it's late here in Europe, Norway, and it's been a long day. But it was great seeing BlueSky Statistics in a new version. I can't see any questions, so for the attendees, please type them in the question box if you have any questions. I have a personal question, really, and that's about the graphics. Is it possible to export the graphics with menu options, or do you have to program this with BlueSky Statistics?
I'll show you that right now if I can switch my screens, but you can right click and you can download as SVG or you can download as PNG. You can also write our code that will automatically copy the graphics to a directory. I have that up on my screen, but I'm not sharing that right now, but I think now you should be able to see it.
Yes, sorry, now we see the thank you slide.
Yes. Oh, you're still seeing the PowerPoint? Okay, give me a minute. Let me switch the presenter and the. Oh, let me just end the slideshow, I think. And now you should see the application. Is it visible now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you can right click here and download as SVG or download as PNG. You can also write our code that automatically saves these to certain directories.
Yeah, that seems fast and easy enough for me. Thank you. Yeah, I don't see any questions coming in, so I don't know if you have some special feature you would like to show at the end. I see we have a good time before 4 o'clock, but
sure, I can definitely walk you all through some of the advanced options here. So are you seeing my screen again?
yeah.
Okay, so there's a wide set of analysis as I talked about, but we also have, if you go under themes, with graphics, you can control the plotting theme. There are tons of themes that you can choose to do your plots in. There's also settings here when it comes to output, displaying scientific notation for very small numbers. There's capabilities under miscellaneous I'm looking for the ability to, there's so many options now, but if you want to see latex in the output, if you want to copy it into a journal for publishing, you have that capability as well. There's a rich set of capabilities, support for connecting to Oracle databases as well. So that's one thing I wanted to quickly show you. We can run some more graphs really quickly as well. So you see the capabilities of the graphs. Let's do a box plot really quickly. Let's say if I want to do that and group it by cylinder, that can be run. And here you see the box plot. There are tons of these different plots that can be run. Here's a contour plot. Okay, I did not drag that correctly. Here's a contour plot. From a forecasting perspective, we've got automated ARIMA exponential smoothing. You can plot your time series, and all of that is available as well.
Yes, thank you, Aaron. We actually got one question here. I am aware that there are other GUIs, user interfaces for our statistics. How does BlueSky compare with others? What are the weaknesses and what are the strengths? So I'm just aware of RStudio. I don't know, probably more, but yeah.
Yes. Sure, I can give you my perspective. So our Commander by far has the greatest number of capabilities and extensions. However, our Commander is an older app and doesn't look. It's difficult to use. It's an app probably built 20 to 25 years ago. It doesn't have a modern interface. There are others, Jamovi, Jasp, and I think when you look at the value we provide in terms of a modern user interface, in terms of ease of use, BlueSky Statistics is clearly ahead in terms of just the number of capabilities as well as the extensibility that we have. The ability to open up multiple data sets, the large amount of data manipulation commands that we have, and the marketplace. I did not show you all the marketplace, but this is something we're actively working on. And we want people to contribute extensions, and they will have the ability using our platform to make them free. So it's the author who creates these dialogues will have the ability to choose as to whether they're free and available to everyone, or they just want to make them available to their organization, or they want to make it available for a fee. So these capabilities that we're adding, we really believe will give us a huge leg up. We're really excited about it because we've got people signed up to build this. We're just completing the delivery around this marketplace. But with this, you can add any number of dialogues and extend the application to many disciplines. And I talked about design of experiments. That's the first area that we've got people contributing towards. But as I said, the main thing is the ease of use, the modern GUI, the high number of out-of-the-box capabilities, and then the marketplace that we're coming up, which will allow anyone to contribute, and more importantly, a person to contribute and have choice, okay, to make it free for everybody or to make it available just to themselves, okay. So this is something that I certainly want you all to look out for.
Yes, it's really exciting to see the new feature, the new marketplace, and it will be exciting to see the growth of this in the future. So yeah, I really like that you so easily can add packages and extensions to R or BlueSky Statistics with it. Okay, I can't see any more questions coming in, so I think we will end the webinar there. Thank you again, Aaron, for the great presentation. Guess it's just for me to wish every attendee good evening or day, depending on where in the world you are sighted. Yeah, and same to you, Aaron. Thank you for attending as a presenter for our Alfasoft online demo days. It's always nice to have you. And I wish you also a nice day. You are just starting out, and we are ending it over here in Europe. So have a nice day.
Thank you, my pleasure, and thank you very much for attending, and don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions.
Thanks.